Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sounds Like Home, the Current's virtual festival celebrating Minnesota music. This is our second installment of this festival, and we have an incredible lineup this afternoon of artists who are going to be performing for you virtually from their homes, their studios, their spaces, and chatting with me a little bit throughout the afternoon as well. Coming up today, we have 12:30, MaLLy is going to perform at 1 o'clock, Ashley DuBose, 1:30, MaLLy Maher, 2 o'clock, Mayda, 2:30, Bad Bad Hats, and then closing out the afternoon at 3 is Lady Midnight. I want to give a quick thank you to the Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, which will be compensating all of the artists today for their Sounds Like Home performances. Well, kicking off the day today is an emerging artist that I have been really excited about. Please join me in welcoming Mae Simpson. Hey, Mae.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Oh, I'm living the dream.
Well, you just released a new album this spring, and I'm excited to talk to you more about that coming up a little bit later. But let's start out with some music. What song do you want to start off with here?
Well, since we just released our new EP, Did You Make It Back? I think we should start it off with a single from that album and go with Keep It On My Feet.
Awesome. All right, take it away. This is Mae Simpson on Sounds Like Home.
Hello, Current. We're Mae Simpson Music. Released March 28th, and we were going to have an EP release at the Cedar, and COVID hit, and then now we're here, but we do plan on having an EP release, so make sure you're keeping an eye out for that date. If you like anything you hear today, you can go check it out on MaeSimpsonMusic.com. Those are for sale. We could use the help. This next song is a brand new song, and it's called Goodbye. Work it all, well I feel I don't need you anyhow.
Mae Simpson and her band performing Goodbye, a brand new song. We also heard Keep It On My Feet from the new album, the new EP, Did You Make It Back? And Mae, I want to know more about this new music you're working on. What can you tell us about the new song?
So, Goodbye is like that ultimate summer breakup song. So anybody that's found themselves single in the sunlight, well, this one's for you. It's just fun, you know. It's a feel good song in a time like this where I think that we all need to feel good. It's hard to feel good some days, but yeah, I just think it's a feel good song. It's got a new kind of vibe to it, a beachy vibe almost. So we're really excited to share it with everybody.
That's so cool. Well, as you mentioned, it is such an intense time to be alive, to be part of the music community, to be part of the world. Not only is the whole music scene, halted at the moment, there's no live shows because of the coronavirus, but also here in the Twin Cities, there's just been an outpouring of grief and emotion over the death of George Floyd, and a lot of conversations around that as well. So I guess, to start the conversation, I'm just wondering, how are you doing and how have you been responding to these recent events?
Support, do whatever you can to help your community, to support the cause. Black Lives Matter, George Floyd. It's so important that we make sure that we protect our community. And I don't know, there's a lot of feelings that are invested in Minneapolis with that, with everybody that I speak with. There's so many feelings, and you just kind of want to know what you can do to help support the cause. And whether that's being on the front lines or donating food, donating time, anything that I can do personally, I've done. In the band, we've tried to kind of, keep making music at the same time as everything is going on. You have COVID and an uprising that needs to happen. And at the end of the day, it's just about not only being on the right side of history and standing up for what is right, it's also trying to maintain your creativeness. And I think that we've been able to do that the best that we can, and we have some new songs to show for it, hopefully giving people good vibes.
It's so remarkable to me to think about, as an artist, taking in all that's happening in the world, and everything is just so intense at the moment, and being able to process and then turn that into a song. I mean, I want to know more about, your process and how that is for you.
Yeah, I mean, when you go down that lane, because there's so many feelings invested with it, I'm not surprised that we would end up with so many songs. When I'm writing music or when we're all in the room, a lot of times we just start off with just a sound or a vibe. But everybody has emotions and feelings that they bring into this. So that being said, there's a million things you can say in a song. And sometimes it can be the simplest thing you could possibly ever say. And that's the most powerful thing. So in a time like this, when there's so much to say and so much to get behind and stand up for, it's relatively easy to come up with music, I mean, there's just so much to say. So much needs to be said. So I think it's important that it's said and stand up and just be good, be a good human.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned that you have a new EP that just came out a couple months ago. I remember forward promoting it on the local show and saying this is going to be such a great show at the Cedar Cultural Center, at the end of March, and then everything got put on hold. I mean, what was that whole transition period like for you, and what's it like to release music in this moment?
Well, I didn't really know what was happening at first. I was like, oh, we can't have our EP release at the Cedar. That's cool. We'll just, wait for a month. The vinyls aren't in anyways. That's fine. And then it kind of hits you where you don't know when you're going to have an EP release at all. That was really hard because you have all this momentum and then you're just stuck. You can't move. So, I mean, with that, you still got to keep that energy high. And that's why we've still been creating this whole time. I mean, of course, social distancing, but still being creative. I write all the time. The guys write all the time. we come together with those ideas. So releasing music in this time, I feel like the outpour of support is a lot. We've been lucky in that people have been purchasing the album. People have been, pushing up our Spotify, anything that they can kind of do. I don't think anything replaces that show, though. That show needs to happen, and that show will happen as soon as everything kind of gets back into a normal speed. We will have our EP release, and it will be awesome. And I'm going to crowd surf, so be ready.
Well, what has it been like for you to pivot from, playing huge rooms full of people to performing live streams? I mean, I got a chance to see you during Best New Bands, and your command over the crowd was just so incredible, and I could tell that you really fed off of that energy and that connection. So yeah, I just want to know a little more about this digital experience that we're all navigating now.
Yeah, it's super difficult. I can't really get energy from a screen. It's not really my thing. I definitely like to be in your face. I like that energy of other people. That's really what pushes me to that next level. But you have to create that on your own. And I think in the music that you see today, you will still have that energy. It's not going to be the same exact energy as if we were right in front of you performing, but we still create that energy within the band. We look at each other, we do our handshakes, we pump each other up. You do whatever it takes to get the music across.
Yeah. Well, we
So
so
it's definitely
appreciate
weird.
you taking. Yeah, yes, it is. I know I always feel compelled, like we should just have like a recorded applause or something so you can hear that,
Something.
yes, there are people out here. We are experiencing this together.
I'm assuming people are clapping. I don't really know, but
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me today and to join in on the Sounds Like Home festivities and give us a performance today. It's as we mentioned, it's an intense time, but I think that being able to listen to music together is a really powerful thing. So I really appreciate you being here with me.
I appreciate you, Andrea. It's always a pleasure.
Aw. Well, let's get another song in. What do you want to close with?
I think we ought to close with another new song, and this one is called Stuck Behind the Blues.
All right. Mae Simpson here on Sounds Like Home.
While I'm at it, I should introduce the guys here of the Mae Simpson music. Jorgen Watkins on guitar, everybody. David Kellerman on the bass. Aaron Silverstein on the drums. Paul Peterson on the trumpet. Romy Rome on the percussion. And my name is Mae, and we are happy to be here today. We got one more song for you. It's also a new one, so you can definitely find a lot of our songs on Spotify, iTunes, any sort of media like that. Give us a like on Facebook if you can. This song is called Stuck Behind the Blues. Million miles away, thinking about your face and the laughter that we shared. I thought you were okay, oh, but it died in decay. And I try to find a way back to your place, but the lights are red today. Stuck behind the blues. Simpson music!
That was another new song from Mae Simpson. It's called Stuck Behind the Blues. That was such a great performance, such a great way to kick off the day with a lot of energy. I'm so excited that Mae Simpson and her band could join us today. Coming up later in the afternoon, next we have MaLLy. He's going to be performing at 12:30, followed by Nest Night, MaLLy, Maher, Mayda, Bad Bad Hats, and then Lady Midnight closing out the afternoon at 3 p.m. Thank you so much to Jesse Wiza for producing these sessions. Eric Romani is our engineer. And thank you, Mae. Thanks for being here. This is just such a great way to kick off the afternoon.
Thank you, guys. This is really cool to be a part of. Minnesota is definitely our home, and the support here is real for local music. And thank you guys for everything that you do and everything that you bring, and the help that and support that you guys give the artists around here.
Well, it's an honor. It's an honor to be able to provide the digital stage in this very unusual moment.
Hey, if it's the only stage we got, it's the one we got to rock.
Yes, exactly. Well, thanks again and take care. I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, celebrating Minnesota music. Support for Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is made possible with the support of Minnesota's Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org.
Hey, this is Andrea Swensson, host of the local show on The Current, and you are now tuned in to Sounds Like Home, The Current's virtual festival celebrating Minnesota music. We have so many performances lined up for you this afternoon. Coming up next at 1 o'clock, Ashley DuBose, also MaLLy, Maher, Mayda, Bad Bad Hats, and Lady Midnight on deck to perform. But right now, I am so excited to connect with an artist who visited the Current studios when he released his new album, The Journey to a Smile, last year. And now we're connecting virtually. Give it up for MaLLy. Hey, MaLLy,
Yo,
how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's we'll have a lot to talk about, that's for sure, when we get to the interview portion of your session today. But I was wondering if you could just tell us, first of all, where are you joining us from today? Where are you performing from?
I am currently at home. Let me move this out the way so that doesn't look crazy. You know what? Let me move this because perfect. So it's not super blue light. But no, I'm at home. I'm in the comfort of my home studio. I'm relaxed. I'm chilling. It's 90 some degrees out, but I have on a long sleeve shirt, pants, and a t-shirt and socks. So people might ask, like, why you got so many clothes on and it's hot? So but no, I'm good. I'm just at home. I'm in my comforted studio where I record, where I've laid a lot of new stuff, and I'm just here. It literally, no pun intended, feels like home because I'm actually here. So yeah, we're just kicking it.
Nice. Nice. Well, I can't wait to talk to you about what you've been working on. We'll have an interview in a little bit, but let's start with some music. What do you want to start with?
I'm gonna start with something that I put out in 2019. It was kind of a loose single, didn't make the Journey to a Smile record. It's called All I Need, and it's produced by PC. And then after that, I'm gonna do a song that I haven't put out at all. So it's totally unreleased. It's pretty new. I've never done it before. So I was like, it might be kind of cool to, challenge myself and have a little fun, maybe stumble and fumble a little bit too, but we'll see. So
We're
we'll
here
have
for
fun.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll let you take it away.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. All I need in this world is a lot of sun, a million ones, a little wear for the lungs. Start providing for the homies through the whole summer. Stick together, ain't nobody that can put us under. Rise above, my enemies would never suffer. Throw them all on an island, they can hate each other. Fake with each other, a little drum, real calmers. Coming back how it's supposed to, you gotta love it. A bigger brother that could make me tougher growing up. Air Jordans, the ones in light, every color. Nightmares gone, bring back who underneath us. Throw them flooded pieces, they ain't gotta take them off. I just need you to love me for my combinations. Expressing essence in a human body, so amazing. Steady laughing, you thinking that we fall backwards. Fraud actors, toast them all with tall glasses. Going back in my bag, we don't grind the same. They work less and want more, still crying, complain. I'm lifting up. My, how the times have changed. I swear, walking in my shoes is like flying a plane. You know I need peace, power, love, light, water, sun, smiles and money, baby, it's all I need. Yeah, yeah. Life is our paradise. I pray to God that it lasts forever, baby. It's all I need. A couple cubes and the ace, too thankful, grateful for the moment, being mindful. This is just a prelude. Copping anything I want, putting in the browsing. Give me the joys and sorrows by the 10,000s. There's something greater than ourselves, men and women bowing. Looking for love, looking inside, know you found it. All I need is a couple pennies multiplied by the 5 in a pretty frame, no surprise. Flicking photos in my Air Maxes, sitting solo. My heart get warmer when the world be feeling 10 below though. Act like you know though. Flavored I be godly, good ones by me. Doing what works for you and keep your mind clean. Hathaway spoke of this day, we all got free. Innocent and brave after drifting in a cage. Will a life spinning right? You gon' need every spoke. With the Buddha that I'm on, you will breathe and never choke. With the one who designed the game, a real gift to be present and to find your way. I'm still in touch. Find everything could change. I clear the path for the next and let them ride the wave. You know I need peace, power, love, light, water, sun, Smiles and money, baby, it's all I need. Yeah, yeah. Life is our paradise. I pray to God that it lasts forever, baby. It's all I need. Yeah. Peace, power, love, light, water, sun, smiles and money, baby. It's all I need. Yeah. Yeah. Life is our paradise. I pray to God that it lasts forever, baby. It's all I need. Yeah. Yeah. Life our paradise. I pray to God. Huge shout out to the current. Feels like home. And big shout out to my guy PC for lacing me with something so beautiful. God bless. That's the prize. That's the prize of my sights on, and I ride forth to my eyes low, and I think the highest blue skies is open. I wait for no one, I'm flying forward. The south side is Jehovah, posing like a new sculpture. Found my genius, can't believe it, man. The house since daddy left me breathing. After that I hustled like the 80s. Watch them frown, they never wavy, and some get pissed they can't play me. So while we talk, you can't pay me. America, I'm your baby, and this the womb where you made me. So many are living to be famous, but probably die from self-hatred. So don't get mad, I'm Matt Meyer. My facial hair is explosive, resemble ones that's been chosen. But you can call me Black Moses. Said they loved us, no they bluffing. Salty ones I never fuck with. Rose above they small discussions. Know my worth, they lack the budget. I recline, they decline, and my stomach rumbling. I need mine, and everybody want to take my piece. Why? Middle finger made from my peace sign. I love the day, can't sweat tomorrow or press rewind. I got a free mind, and good ones don't die. We so high, no lie. I'm touching clouds, they dipped in gold. Let's stain my fingertips. I'm headed where the angels floating, hoping I can sit super high, super high, super high, till it's just you and I, you and I, you and I. I came here with the current, fuck who y'all be chilling with. You know I'm super sick, super high, super high, super high, till it's just you and I, yeah. Talk to God and he called me king, and I got no masters. Took the time to grow up and keep myself out your madness. And they wonder where I've been restored to vision. I don't need glasses. I was soaked by pain, rose up from under those ashes. Feeling like I'm in a brand new body. Cocky, nothing gonna stop me. I'm so confused to shake hands with all these dudes that ain't family. It's no surprise I flow higher. The sun go down and then I lay low. My circle shining like a halo. These brand new heights we all can't go. Some women chasing, they think you made it, so they get naked and misbehaving. A hotel, showtel, one too many and I was faded. I had to learn to slow up from afar and close up. They don't really know us, but found themselves in our greatness. Legendary, my old shit. These nobodies never know shit. Half these fuckers ain't focused, but love the cam and got no lens. I'm good on this side though. Lifted and whipping the ride slow. Chilling, count your blessings, kick it, sipping water, drinking different, super high though. I'm touching clouds, they dipped in gold, let's stain my fingertips. I'm hated with the angels floating, hoping I can sit super high, super high, super high, till it's just you and I, you and I, you and I. I came in with my people, fuck who y'all be coolin' with. Don't need your love, just need your money. I'm super, super, sitting high, super high, till it's just you and I, you and I, you and I. Yeah. I'm headed where the angels floating, hoping I can sit. Yeah. Super high, super high, super high, till it's just you and I. You and I, you and I,
That's MaLLy. If you're just joining us, this is Sounds Like Home. That was a new song. When did you write that?
So Super High came not even came out, unreleased. I wrote Super High, man, in the midst of writing like 30 songs for the Journey to a Smile album. So probably like 2017, 18 maybe. And
Okay.
my plan is to, you know, put it out when the time is right. But I was like, let me try to get comfortable and familiar with some of these joints that I haven't performed yet. Um, so I usually try to stay away from that because I don't want to fumble and mumble all over the place and then like ruin the song. It's like I want to try to get through it clean. So I'm pretty proud of that record because it's a little different than what I'm usually doing. Less A lot of the records I tend to do try not they're not as floaty or bouncy, but that one I wanted to do something with it. So I was like, let me do a record like this. And the folks that I've played it for have been like, yeah, you got to put that out. Or some folks thought it should have been on the album, but yeah. So I wrote it a couple years ago. So produced by PC as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was super joyful. That was good for the heart. I appreciated that.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy. Like, yeah, yeah.
So the last time that we checked in was just a couple weeks ago now, but it was really in a raw period, a raw moment, just days after the killing of George Floyd. And you recorded just such a beautiful recollection and just kind of a meditation on how you were feeling in that very intense moment. I'm wondering if you can just kind of catch me up a little bit on how this last month has gone for you and what's at the top of your mind right now.
Yeah. You, I've had a chance to, to just kind of answer your question in a few different pieces. I've had the chance to go to the memorial site on 38th in Chicago a few times. Once I went with one of my best friends. Second time I went alone with flowers and a card, and then this actually just went yesterday with my mom. I headed over there and we walked around and she took some pictures and whatnot and we talked about it a little bit. But yeah, it's still like very similar. I think the biggest thing that's at the front of my mind is really trying not to get too wrapped up in the digital conversations online and because there's the news and there's just so many things happening at one time. And I'm trying to stay in a place of, I'm it's weird. Like, I guess there's this strange like sadness or almost maybe an understandable sadness to some degree of uh of just how things have been feeling. And it's hard, like it's really hard to process a lot of it. And I haven't like cried outwardly, but that feeling of that it's going to happen has been the feeling that I've had a couple different times, especially at the memorial site. um just like really trying to put yourself in that place and see um what happened and how it happened and just trying to like put yourself there um has been a lot. But I think that the other thing for me too is I've been just like really jumping into writing and creating new material, um and just writing from a place of authenticity and not really worrying too much about, is this going to be like a super big song or like I'm really just trying to as always trying to let, but even more now, just let my heart speak more than anything else. Like let that be the main intention. So that's kind of been like a lot of the stuff that's been at the front of my mind. And then also just, some of the conversations that I've had, I've just been trying to tell friends like white friends specifically, being open to leaning into those uncomfortable conversations, whether it be amongst family or close friends that you grew up with, or other white people that consider themselves to be allies and connected in whatever movement it is. Like really being open to listening and just having those tough conversations amongst yourselves or amongst each other or coworkers too, because life is definitely like in this weird schedule of we go to work and we put on this facade, and then when we get home, like we are who we are for real when we get back to where in the privacy and the comforts of our own home. And like those are the folks we should be like those versions of ourselves is where we should be having those conversations with about what happened, what do we genuinely want to see happen. And in order for that to happen, we all have to like understand that it takes it's everyone's challenge. If we share this world, then we have to share truthfully with each other, in order to like take the next step forward. It's not just police reform. It's not just this. It's all of these other things too that haven't been addressed for so long as well. So I'm really, so that's been impacting me just to write from an authentic place, and not trying to like, yeah, I'm just really trying to come from that place more than anything.
Yeah, it's just so much to process. As you say, it's, it started as a conversation about police brutality, but it's really, I feel like we're kind of in a moment of auditing every relationship, every structure, every institution, thinking about the ways that white supremacy controls so much in all of our lives and how it hurts all of us.
Hmm.
And I just so admire an artist's ability to take something so enormous and so emotional, and so overwhelming, and to be able to funnel that somehow into a song. I mean, I want to hear more about that process for you of, are you writing every day, or how does that show up for you?
Yeah. So um, I've been working on a lot of new material. I'm about five new songs in right now, and a lot of them are really focused on pulling from the inspiration that's in the air. So I might not necessarily make an entire song or track about um, all of the isms that exist in the world or specifically certain things, but I'm doing it in my own personal way. Like really, I guess for me, I've always loved wordplay, but like I like subtleties versus the things that are really out in front. So being able to speak metaphorically, creatively, um, and then just really like putting my existence in songs, like really like putting my attributes, whether they be physical or spiritual, into a lot of these records. So knowing that like this is a really pure and raw, somewhat, feeling. And even I think the way that me and the producer, want to go about doing it is we want to do it from a place of like not trying to overproduce it, like really just let the feel be what it is. So that process has been really like not being afraid to just say something and stick with it versus, oh, is this going to be too, you know, political, or will people feel like this is too shallow? Like really just not worrying about it as long as it's not offensive. I'm really just trying to just speak from an honest place. And once again, I've also been in the place of examining some of my own personal things that or ways that I've moved, and being able to like therapeutically put that down and speak to it, honestly and openly, whether it be around how I've seen the world and some of the things that I've done to myself or to people, but really like just showing up, as myself and not bringing my representative, as they say. So yeah,
Well, so you said you have 5 songs finished already. Do you think you'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
releasing? Do you think it'll be released soon?
That I don't know. I've got a lot of material from like that wasn't even with PC. Uh Last Word and I have been working. We did the Colors of Black album in 2014. So we've been working heavy. Um so we don't have like a release date or anything like that, but we're just creating, and we want to see where it goes. And the style of music he's been sending me has been perfect for uh just the the landscape of how things are. So it's been cool. It's been cool. It's been good. So we've been working hard, and we've been going back and forth, and we haven't seen each other in person uh in a while, since because he was touring with Ali, and then the virus stuff kicked off and all of that. So we've kind of been, keeping our distance in that regard, but we've been in communication. And I told him, I was like, we should just work. Just let's just get busy. Um, Same thing with PC, but the Last Word and I are just definitely like in a zone right now. So I don't know how many songs we're gonna make, but I'm trying to have a lot, because I definitely just have a lot to say. I still feel I'm passionate still about the art first and foremost too, and um it's been good. Like, so I don't know if anything's gonna come out this year, but you know, there might be something that folks might hear. But I still got stuff from the Journey project that hasn't been released yet, videos and all that stuff. So I've just been wanting to. I don't even know if there's a right time because there's just stuff. Everything's just happening all at once. So it's just like I just think it needs to just be put out. But we'll see. We'll see. So I'll definitely share it with you guys when it's when it's time to. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard thing to navigate right now, when to release music, how to connect with people. As you say, what is the right time to add to the conversation that's happening online, on social media, in our communities. It's I just can't even imagine your position as an artist, trying to find that opening and figure out how to make a plan in this moment when the future seems very unknowable.
Yeah, it's hard. And I guess the one thing that I've always been self-conscious about is not seeming as if I'm taking advantage of an opportunity in a circumstance that's not quote unquote positive or like a sad time. I struggle with that. I just always have, even when something happens and everyone's posting about it, and I'm like, man, I have something to say, but then I'm like, but I don't want to just throw something out there just for the sake of feeling like I have to throw something out there. So that's kind of been the biggest thing I've been struggling with as an artist, is trying to, once again, like figure that right time out. And does it feel genuine? Like, do I feel genuine in putting this out at this time? And and then I have this other self-conscious, like, well, if it's not a song or a project that's speaking directly to what's happening, does it come off as me like not caring? And do people think, oh, this person is just like, he's making all these happy songs, like, does he not care about what happened? Or so I struggle. I go back and forth with that a lot internally, but I think the biggest thing is just people will receive it the way they receive it, and as long as the intention, I think, is from a genuine place, I think it's all good. So yeah,
I think you're right. Well, I so appreciate you taking the time to connect today, and I'm so glad to hear that you're in a creative flow and that the songs are coming and that there's more music on the way. What do you want to play next? We'll get another song in.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the track called "Applause." It's off of the Journey to a Smile. I want to say it's like track 3 or something like that. If folk can't remember song titles, track 3 on the record. Yeah, so produced by PC as well, and it's got a nice swing to it, nice drums, and it's probably like one of my favorites to do. It's a nice feel good, fun banger, I guess, if you want to call it that, as rap people say. So.
All right. Take it away.
All right. Thank you. Once again, I want to thank y'all for having me. Shout out to all the lives we've lost this year. Let's take it home. Yeah. All day the confetti gon' fall. Got W's, need a couple more. The boy float in parade with the stars. It's a celebration, round of applause. Hands up high enough to knock down a plane. Walk in all night, made it rain. It's one me and a whole lot of frauds. Celebration, round of applause. Yeah, round of applause. I see you. I'm fresh out the gate with a brand new fade. Left tour shed weight, couldn't recognize a face. Celebrating life, 100 candles in a cake. I done been so many places, a lot will never taste. Y'all can't relate when it's great. Hold up, my head filling up again. You running out of space. And why so many rappers hate? Them niggas steak on a plate, ain't shit to say except grace. The power's in the necklace, the freshest. Lord have mercy, they been plotting on my blessings. I focus on completion, not perfection. Gotta take them all to church, but the mass isn't who I break bread with. I'm halfway decent. Never seen a cell ducking blue lights or felt the long arm of a precinct. Represent, cause the God shall remain. Had to walk before I fly. The black birds out the cage. For those that never heard me before, I got 'em on standby. When I take off, I told them I would shine from the door. F the police, rest in peace, George Floyd. All day the confetti gon' fall. Got W's, need a couple more. The boys float and parade with the stars. It's a celebration, round of applause. Hands up high enough to knock down a plane. Walk in all night, made it rain. It's one me and a whole lot of y'all. Celebration, round of applause. God flow next to Christ on the cross. Heaven started splitting on the minute I was born. Drop jaws in the present. Spectators talk cause my Jesus ain't white, but the high tops are. A round of applause to your flaws. Every dream of a king's that we'd all get along till the paper's all right. I be feeling all wrong. I'm too real for scraps. Got no chill for that. You know I gotta get it. Day one's just riding with me. Confidently see us stopping through another city. Broads is thirsty to hit you with a lot of memory. But on the flip, you might forget them, and they all offended. I never hold back, I let it go. Special with soul for respect. And the dough fist high, stress low. Ball placed by the sun. Y'all set by the toes. Been a thread in my zone. There forever, give a toast to the set. Some say it's all love and got a hole in their chest from the projects. Nah, I'm so low key, just me. But keep a couple knots in the sweats. The PC bounce got the format switching. Real soon, bet the lines start clicking. Thank me later, it's all in the business. Ain't none of y'all welcome, the doormat's missing. Round of applause, yeah, yeah, round of applause. Round of applause. Round of applause. Hands up high enough to knock down a plane. Walk in all night, made it rain. It's one me and a whole lot of frauds. Rest in peace, George Floyd. Round of applause for your life. Round of applause for your movement. Applause. Round of applause.
That's Applause. As MaLLy said, you can find that on A Journey to a Smile that just came out last year. And what is your preferred way for people to find your music?
All streaming platforms, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp, or you can follow me on any of those social platforms and whatnot. Instagram, Twitter, hit me up directly. So all streaming platforms are personally, I'm still doing the old school way, mailing CDs to people if they want them, Cash Apping and all of that good stuff. So any platform you can think of, you can get it from me that way. Face to face, 6 feet, of course, but yeah. So I'm everywhere.
Cool. We'll drop some links in the video here so people can find your music super easily. MaLLy, thank you so much for joining us today. This is just such an unusual and raw and intense time, and music is healing. And I just so appreciate you connecting and having a conversation with me and performing for us. We just so appreciate it.
Nah, thank you so much. This was good. I'm glad that it feels good to be able to share and perform from a chair and not on a stage in front of thousands of people or hundreds of people. So this was good. And I just appreciate the conversation as well too. I think these conversations need to be had, and hopefully there's more opportunity for larger discussion, whether it be digital or in person as well. So I'm grateful. Thanks to y'all, and good luck on everything and the other performances and everyone else involved. Nest Night, Dem Atlas, good people. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a good afternoon. Well, thank you to all of you for joining Sounds Like Home. I want to say thanks to our producer, Jesse Wiza, and our engineer, Eric Romani, as well. And we'll see you again shortly.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, celebrating Minnesota music. Support for Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is made possible with the support of Minnesota's Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Sounds Like Home, the Currents virtual festival. This is our second installment of this festival showcasing Minnesota music. I'm Andrea Swensson, host of the local show. And right now I am connecting to Ashley DuBose, who has a new song out. Hey, Ashley, how's it going?
Hey, Andrea. It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing, all right. I want to know where you are right now, though. You look incredible.
I'm somewhere in Africa. No, I'm just kidding. I wish. I'm in St. Paul, in the backyard of the house that I grew up in, at my mom's house.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we got this nice,
Well,
natural, nature-esque backdrop. So I decided this was a good spot to do this.
Well, we so appreciate you connecting with us for this. We're going to start with a performance, and then we'll chat a little bit more and find out how you've been doing lately. What do you want to start with?
Okay, I'm going to start off with Life Goes On, and this is one of my first songs I ever recorded, and it's from my freshman album called Something More. This is Life Goes On.
All right.
Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, little birdie on my window pane. He flew away with no cares in the world. I wish that I could give him all my troubles so he could take them far away. So many weights placed on my shoulders, and it's dragging me down. Feels like one thing after another every time I turn around. But the sun comes up in the morning, and the moon brings light to the night. In the summer heat melts the snow away in time. Fireworks in July. Every ending has a beginning. Every beginning has an end. The wave is tossed in the ocean, over time that's drawn in the sand. And life goes on, goes on, goes on. Yeah, life goes on, goes on, goes on. Yeah, life goes on, it goes on, it goes on. Yeah, life goes on, it goes on, it goes on. I met a man the other day and he had some difficulties worse than me. I wondered how he could smile through it all. He said, listen closely, and this is what he told me. There's a purpose for everything we go through. Just put your trust in the one who made you. And when you feel like giving up, just think of the things you're living for. Cause the sun comes up in the morning, and the moon brings light to the night. Summer heat melts the snow away in time. The fireworks in July. Every ending has a beginning. Every beginning has an end. Like a wave that's tossed in the ocean, over a line that's drawn in the sand. And life goes on, it goes on, it goes on. Life goes on, goes on, it goes on. If you believe it, sing it with me. Say life goes on, it goes on. Life goes on, it goes on, it goes on. But it gets hard sometimes, hard. No, it ain't always easy. It ain't always easy, no. But I gotta learn to let it go, let it go, let it go. It helps to know, it helps to know that the sun comes up in the morning, and the moon brings light to the night. In the summer heat melts the snow away in time. Fireworks in July. Every ending has a beginning. Every beginning has an end. Like a wave that's tossed in the ocean, or a line that's drawn in the sand. Oh, it goes on, it goes on, it goes on. Life goes on, it goes on. No matter what you're going through, remember life goes on, it goes on, it goes on. Yeah, 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 yeah. It goes on, it goes on. La da da ba ba, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. La da da ba, la da da ba ba. Say ooh, 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 ooh. La da da ba ba, ra ba ba, ra ba ba. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's life goes on. I don't know. I'm so nervous right now. The central air turned on. Hopefully that wasn't able to be detected. Mommy, are you able to turn the central air off at all? Is it this thing? Trying to be creative, and I got sirens and air conditionings coming on. Okay.
That's real life, though.
That's true.
We chose the name Sounds Like Home. We have all those sounds. It's all right.
So
that was awesome.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm taking the lead. Go ahead, Andrea.
No, I don't want to interrupt you. We'll talk more in a little bit. I want to hear your new song, though. I know you're going to play Love Tings next.
Yes. So I'm really excited. This is only my technically second day performing this song. This is Love Tings, my latest single, and it's produced by Ben Obi of Savannah Street Music. It's got a little island vibe to it, so enjoy. Yeah, yeah. It's been a while, I forgot what it feels like. Remind me of how you stop all the time when you come around me. My world's falling down since you left me stranded here. Wishing I could have saved us, but we found it in my dreams. I see you again. I'm trying to make sense of this hole you got on my soul. I can't seem to let you go. I just can't let you go. Ooh, love things. And I know that you won't be here for long. It's just what you do. Keep me hanging on, love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still. But I know that it can't be real. Ooh, love things. Love things. Yeah, love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still. But I know that it can't be real. Ooh, my heart still beats for you. The rhythm we used to make love to. All of this time, no other guy has had my attention. Everyone since it's gotten the cold shoulder. I can't seem to get over this hurdle. In my dreams, I see you again. I'm trying to make sense of the hole you got on my soul. I can't seem to let you go. I just can't let you go. Ooh, love things. And I know that you won't be here for long. It's just what you do. Keep me hanging on, love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still. But I know that it can't be real. Ooh, love things. Love things. Hey, yeah, love things. Am I wrong? Cause I know that I want you still. But I know that it can't be real. Ooh, sometimes I'm convinced you still love me like you used to do. You text me, then you come through, then you trash me like I'm old news. I'm stupid, I do this to myself. I need help. Cupid make a potion to undo this spell I'm under. It's a wonder I still breathe the way I need your love. Come and rescue me, save me from this hell. Love me. And I know that you won't be here for long. It's just what you do. Keep me hanging on, love me, yeah. Am I wrong? cause I know that I want you still, but I know that it can't be real. Ooh, love things. Love things, yeah. Yeah, 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 love things. Am I wrong, cause I know that I want you still, but I know that it can't be real. Ooh. The dramatics.
Yes.
Ooh.
That is such a great song. If you're just joining us, that's Ashley DuBose singing her brand new single, Love Tings. I want to know everything about where that song came from. What was the inspiration?
You want to know everything. Okay, I'm like, how much tea should I spill? So I was in a relationship. It wasn't a very long relationship. It was actually kind of short-lived compared to most relationships, I guess. It was like a 6-month, but it was very passionate, and we spent a lot of time together, and we kind of developed a soul tie, and then things ended, and it was a toxic situation where it wasn't completely severed. It was a lot of going back to it and coming back to it, and I was in a vulnerable position because my heart was still in the situation, and the other person wasn't really serious when we would come back. And in my mind, when we would come back to it, there was hope, but there really wasn't. But I was blinded by, like, I don't know, infatuation, love, whatever. So this went on for some time, and it had a really, what's the word? It had a big impact on me. So, like, every song that I would write after this relationship has been about something pertaining to either the relationship or the effects, the result of, like, the emotional pain. You know what I'm saying? That I went through after it. I'm not sure if I'm articulating this well, but basically,
You are.
So there's lingering, unresolved because I had attempted. It's been some years now, but I attempted to get, like, closure, but when you have, like, an emotional abuser, they're not really trying to give you that closure. And that's the situation I was in. I was in a relationship with an emotional abuser, and it actually got physical a couple times. So it was a very toxic situation. But in my mind, whatever it was, it had me thinking that, I was thinking about all the good things about this person. So I was still very much in love, just in quotation marks, in love with the person, because I was thinking about all the good times, and I'm like, well, it had to have meant something, and I'm like finding all these reasons instead of looking at the obvious, which is, this is not a good person for you. Not that he's a terrible person, he's not the right one for you. Move on. So when I was sitting to the table writing this song, I was in that space of it wasn't as in the thick of things. It was kind of getting further out, but I was able to draw on that situation for inspiration. So it wasn't like I was still, like, deep in it. There was a period where I was, like, deep in it. And I feel like I've already said way too much, but that's what this song is about. It's just like somebody who you're like, I know that it can't be a real thing and a lasting thing, but I still want you. And that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you sharing
pitiful.
that.
I know it's very pitiful, but it's
No,
real
it's
life.
not. It is real. No, that is a very relatable experience, and I just so admire your ability to take those experiences and turn it into something so joyful, and something that, I mean, it's impossible to listen to that song without moving, without smiling. It's just, what an uplifting song, and it's so wonderful to listen to that kind of music right now as well. It's just, we're living through such a heavy and intense time, and I have such a huge appreciation for artists who can give us these moments of understanding and of uplifting. And it's just, as someone that doesn't do that myself, I so admire people's ability to do that, to turn your experiences into music. Well, I want to ask you about, just how you've been doing. As I mentioned, this is such an intense time. Not only is it a pandemic, not able to have live shows, but there's been just such turmoil here in Minneapolis and St. Paul. What have the last few weeks and months been like for you?
It's been very, like, up and down. And especially with promoting this song, and then having, like, Juneteenth, and having keeping up on there's been new murders, since George Floyd, and like all of the developments, trying to see that I'm doing my part to help make sure justice is served. And, am I doing enough? And could I be the next person if I'm too vocal and I'm speaking out? Because, that seems like what's happening. People who are speaking out, they're kind of being targeted. And so I've had feelings of fear, of, worry, of, ranging to excitement about the song, putting out new music. And I was actually supposed to put it out the Friday after George Floyd passed. And I was too affected by, I watched the video and I was too affected by it. I just didn't want to think about anything else. I couldn't think about anything else. I definitely didn't want to be online talking about anything else, obviously. So I postponed the release for 2 weeks because of that reason. But I couldn't hold on to it forever. And I'm like, the song needs to get out, because like this song was shot last year, the video was shot last year, the song's been done. I need to still, life must go on, so I need to do what I need to do. So, but in the background, I'm not able to completely enjoy the moment and feel like worried or carefree about everything else but the song, because I have to be a mother, I have to be an artist, a businesswoman, I have to be an activist, I have to be, just mindful of, I have to read the world, like what's really going on in the world right now. And it's a serious thing. So it's not been easy for me, but I am thankful that my music has been like a light for a lot of people, in spite of the fact that it came from a really dark place. To be honest, that just shows, I attribute things to God, but whatever you want to attribute it to, it's like how the world works, how the universe works, how God works. Like, you'll go through these dark places, but if I didn't go through that dark place, I wouldn't have this song that now, everybody's really excited and affected positively by it. And even me, like I'm in the car, like jamming to it, and I'm not really thinking about really the pain that it came from. I'm thinking about the melody and like the reception that the song's having. So, it's like a light in the midst of a dark time and place. But that's what I feel like I'm here to do, is be a light when I can. Not that I'm perfect, and I'm not trying to be an angel, because nobody is, but to do my part, and I feel like use my gift for that purpose. So I feel like I'm serving my purpose through my music.
Absolutely. I was curious too, hearing you speak, have you been writing? There's just so much to process right now. So I know some people are able to write through that. Some people just need to take a minute to really experience all that's happened before you turn to creation. But have you been writing in this last month or so?
Yes. So in the thick of like the first week and a half following the murder of George Floyd, I had all these emotions, and I couldn't come with melodies. Like, melodies don't come to me when I'm feeling down. Or they do, but it's easier for me to write in like poetic form, like just lyrics, just rhymes, rap, poetry, however you want to put it. But like, so I just wrote with no structure. It was no chorus, no verse. It was like just to get it out. So I have like 2 long poems that I wrote, or songs if I put melody to it. I don't think they'll ever come out. And I've had some opportunities, like I performed at a couple rallies and so like the Juneteenth celebration. And I'm always like, I want to read it, but I also feel like, well, they hired you to come sing, or they asked you to come sing. They don't want to hear you do poetry or rap. So I haven't really displayed it, and I don't know if I will, but that's one thing. And then there's a song that I started actually today when I'm in a better mood, and I like, there's been some distance, and I've been able to, my spirits have been lifted through doing the Love Teams promotion and stuff. So I feel more in the mood to write songs again. I haven't written a song except for the one I came up with today in like maybe 2 months. Yeah. A month and a half. Yeah. So it's hard for me to write when I'm not feeling good. And when I do write, it's just like a storm of something that's not really a song. I would have to craft it into one, which I could. So maybe I will. I do have a song that I didn't write that another gentleman wrote. His name is Tim Levy. and it's called We Are One. And he wrote it at least a year ago because I recorded it like a year ago. But we're gonna release that soon because it's so pertinent to right now. Like really, the human race. I mean, it's like almost elementary. It's like, why should we have to say it? But we don't operate like we're one. We operate, as though we don't need certain parts, and really the whole is very important. So it's a song called We Are One, and I didn't write it, but it's coming, and yeah.
All right. We'll look out for that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences. I know this is just a lot to take in the world, and I again just so admire your ability to be a light in the midst of it for all of us, and to provide us with a performance today. We just so appreciate that. You mentioned that you want to close your performance today with a cover. Can you tell me about why you chose this song?
Yes. So the cover I'm going to sing is Rise Up by Andrea Day. And this song, it every time I sing it, it speaks to me and what I'm going through. And especially during these times where sometimes I feel hopeless. I feel like I don't know what the next step is. I mean, with the pandemic, with the racial tension, with the injustice, everything going on, it just it brings on a lot of negative feelings. But the song talks about something or someone coming along and saying, you know what, you don't have to do this alone. I'll help you through this. I'll do this with you. And I like to think of that being, sometimes it's people, but sometimes I'm like, when I'm singing it, I think of God speaking to me or speaking through the song, through the lyrics of the song, there's a parable about the footprints in the sand. And, like when you're going through rough times, you think you're going alone, but really God's carrying you, and you don't really see it until you get to that place where you can look back and have 2020, hindsight. In hindsight, you can see the big picture, which is you weren't alone, you were being held. And so that's what this song means to me, and that's why I chose it.
Beautiful. I'll let you take it away.
Broken down and tired, living life on the merry-go-round. You can find that fire, a seed in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out, move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, rise like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, silence isn't quiet. It feels like it's getting hard to breathe. I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll bring the world to its feet. Ooh, mountains, take it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you. each other, that we have each other. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, oh, we'll rise, we'll rise up. I like the waves, we'll rise up. In spite of it, we will rise. Ooh. I'll rise up. I like the deep. I'll rise up. Rise unafraid. I'll rise up. And I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you,
Ashley DuBose, that was absolutely gorgeous. I love the birds chirping as well.
Yeah, they're loud. I feel like there's a bird effect like right here. I don't know where it's coming from. I think they're in, okay, I know what it is. They're in like this hose thing that comes out the house. It's like a hollow thing. So I think they're inside and their sound is amplified because it's a metal. Anyway, I'm explaining all of this. I could just show you what I'm talking about. See? They're in that thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's your backup singers.
Thank you. I'm gonna cut y'all a check later. That song I did a cover. I did a recording of the song. So there's a cover on SoundCloud. So if you guys want to listen to it, or if you're watching and you want to hear my rendition of it in professional studio quality, you can go to ashleydubose.com and click on that SoundCloud link at the bottom.
Awesome. That's really good to know. Well, thank you so much. This was just gorgeous. And I just so appreciate you checking in with us and connecting for Sounds Like Home. Ashley DuBose, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a pleasant surprise to get the invitation. So thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. All right. Well, MaLLy Maher's coming up next. So we'll see you all in just a little bit.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, celebrating Minnesota music. Support for Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is made possible with the support of Minnesota's Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org.
Hello, and welcome back to Sounds Like Home, the Current's virtual festival celebrating Minnesota music. I'm Andrea Swensson, host of the local show. And right now we have a really special performance for you. This was something that MaLLy Maher recorded and sent us from Ely. So we are going to hear some of her new music and some of what she is thinking about right now. Please join me in welcoming to Sounds Like Home, MaLLy Maher.
I am coming to you not from my home, but from a cabin about 20 miles north of Ely, up in the Boundary Waters. I've got a microphone on me, and then I have a microphone on the window. So if we're lucky, we'll get a couple of loons chatting with us, other than this loon. This is a song off the new record. It's called Run, Run, Run. There's a video out there available that Eric Koskinen did. So we'll try it with that. Okay. Run, 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 you take it to the heart. Don't know how it started or how it came apart. Run, 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 you take it on the chin. Don't know where it came from or where it's gonna end. Think you're all about it, what did you know? Could you stand up and shout it, how would that go? Run, 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 save yourself from me. Wave your pretty laundry for everyone to see. Run, 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 you got what you came for. How does it look stretched out on the floor? Slumber don't come easy, and my thoughts are not so free. Taking more than I can handle, and it's breaking me. Says mama never abides, that's alright. I always got a side. Judy never did know right from a wrong, that's okay. She's running out of places, keeping up graces. Run, 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 keep me for yourself. Pick me apart or leave me on the shelf. Run, 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 burn it to the ground. Hearts are broke from where they're bound. Running ain't so easy, and it's catching up with me. Slowing down isn't giving in, but we never did that gracefully. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. All right. There's such a beautiful sunset going on, and there's a couple of fishermen out in front of this window, and I can't tell if they're in distress or not. So I was asked to answer some questions and try to keep a little bit of a dialogue going during the selfie concert. So I wrote down some of the prompts that I was given, and I put them here in my waiter. So I thought I would just draw from the waiter to add a little spontaneity to this. So can you tell us about your new record? I sure can. I have a new record out that's called Follow. It was made with just a group of musicians that I have worked with a lot over the years, and then some folks that I've wanted to work with and had an opportunity to. It's part instrumental and part singy songs. I'm thrilled about it. It took years to make, and it's out there. You can either get it for free, you dirty rascals, on streaming services, or you can buy it and support myself and the other musicians that are on the record. How about that? Dang. But actually, I have to say, everyone's been so supportive of this record. When you're trying to put one out during a pandemic, it's pretty interesting. But heck, I don't know how to put one out when it's not a pandemic. It's not called Show Fun. This is a song that's on the record. It's called Find the Shepherd, and there's also a video available for that as well. I'm going to see if these guys are going to pull up a couple of wallys while I'm playing this, or if this music is going to scare them away. Nature. And in the end, I read my own rights. I just took what I believed to be mine. I'm guilty of nothing, nothing that you need to know. Tore it all up, swallowed it whole. We might lose reception about a mile from here. If we stay in this place, I might lose you, I fear. To build a bridge, you gotta dig some deep holes. They help you across or swallow you whole. No, they ain't no good, they're not built like us. Ain't got the fire in their bellies, no, they ain't got the guts. World full of worry and hearts filled with doubts. We're all looking for a savior, someone to bail us out. Find the shepherd and follow his lead. Drive all night just to keep on moving. If you're lost, just look where you wanna go. Breathe in and out, find your shepherd. Find the shepherd. Find the shepherd and follow his lead. Find the shepherd. Sounds Like Home, coming to you from The Current. My name is MaLLy Maher. I'm going to draw another prompt from my waiter, and then I promise I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. How is it to release a record during the quarantine? Oh, I think we just did that one. Well, spontaneity. Do you have any perspective about the past couple of weeks? I can't add any new voice to what's already being said out there. it's time for a change, and we don't need to be patient anymore. It's time for impatience. So no, I have nothing more to add to that. A lot of people are going to do a lot of good work, and yeah. So yes, I'm going to play one more song for you. It's an older song called Bird Song. We have a new version of it on the record that includes Mayda Noriega, beautiful songwriter and singer out of Mexico City. I'm going to try a version that I've never tried before here. And then, as promised, I'm going to turn the camera around when we're done, and I want to show you this fabulous sunset. Thanks to the Current for trying to keep the faith with musicians playing live concerts or selfie concerts. All right. Fox got a hole, bird has a nest, ain't got no home to lay my head. River got the bank and sand's got the shore, ain't got a place in this world no more. Bird flies south when the wind turns cold, follow you wherever you go. Bird fly high, bird fly low, follow you wherever you go. Rain has a cloud, cloud has the sky, ain't got no home to rest my mind. Tears falling down in the cold dark rain, ain't got a place to ease my brain. Bird flies south when the wind turns cold, follow you wherever you go. Bird fly high, bird fly low, follow you wherever you go. Dark fills the earth, black fills the sky, stick it out till the day I die. Fox got a hole, bird has a nest, ain't got no home to lay my head. Bird flies south, the wind turns cold, follow you wherever you go. Bird fly high, bird fly low, follow you wherever you go. Follow you wherever you go. MaLLy Maher coming to you. Sounds like home. So here's my bonus footage is this just rockin' sunset here. And I'll leave you with that and whatever birds are singing. And I hope this finds you well. Thanks for watching the selfie concert. All right. Here we go. There it is, people. Nature. Go out and get it. Bye. How do I turn this off?
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, celebrating Minnesota music. Support for Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is made possible with the support of Minnesota's Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org.
Hey, welcome to Sounds Like Home, the Currents virtual festival. This is our second installment of this festival, and we have a great afternoon of music lined up for you. So far, we've already heard from Mae Simpson, MaLLy, Ashley DuBose, and MaLLy Maher. Thanks to all of them for joining in the fun. Coming up at 2:30, Bad Bad Hats, and closing out the afternoon at 3 will be Lady Midnight. I'm Andrea Swensson, host of the Currents local show. That's Columbo. He's been hanging out for most of these sessions. And I am so excited to be joined now by Mayda. Hello, Mayda. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Well, doing all right. I'm so excited to see you. It's just even though we're all virtual and we can't all be together in person, I've been having such a blast connecting with artists in this way. So it's really nice to see you. Thanks so much for doing this and for joining us today.
Oh my God, it's my honor and pleasure. I mean, like you said, it's hard to be together, and we're all just kind of needing that right now, some sort of connection.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you take it away with some music to start out with, play a couple songs, and then we'll catch up a little bit more in a bit. What song do you want to start with?
I'll start with Little Ones.
Awesome.
You know flames when you have seen water. You know peace when you have seen war. You know a lion when you've seen a tiger. You know a woman when you've seen a little girl. A pretty little baby needs a new pacifier. He's been sucking on those cigarettes to make his eyes feel more tired. I know we were meant to be apart, but I know there's got to be a way to your heart. I put two hands up, 'cause I mean what I say. I put two hands up, 'cause I was born this way. I put two hands up to the sun. I put two hands up for the little ones, all the little ones, yeah. All the little ones, yeah. Just because I'm older does not mean that I'm smarter. Just because I'm not a soldier doesn't mean I don't wear nice armor. And even though I don't worship, doesn't mean I'm not believing. And even though I don't sleep, it doesn't mean I'm not dreaming. I put two hands up, 'cause I mean what I say. I put two hands up, 'cause I was born this way. I put two hands up to the sun. I put two hands up for the little ones, all the little ones, yeah. All the little ones, yeah. You can try to twist up my mind. You can try to make me believe, but the only person who can make me feel something so truly free is the little one in me. Yeah. I get stuck in those la 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 la's. Those la 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 la's. I get stuck in those la 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 la's. Those la 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 la's. Can you see the clouds move around her eyes? And when you kiss her lips, you taste the iodine. You get stuck in those la 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 la's. Those la 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 la's. Get stuck in those la 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 la's. Those la 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 la's. I told the law, I told the world that I love you. There is no other. Get stuck in those la 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 la's. Those la 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 la's. I get stuck in those la 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 la's. Those la 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 la's. Where did my head go? Where did it go? I don't know. Tell me, 'cause I'm staring at those arrows, 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 shooting out the windows, 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 pointing at the sparrows, sparrows, telling me to run away, run away. Where do I go? I don't know.
So good. If you're just joining us, that's Mayda taking part in the current Sounds Like Home virtual festival. Both of those songs are from your latest album, Murder Pop. And I got to say, it's so fun to watch you perform with your band, but it's kind of a treat to see you with an acoustic guitar because it just brings me back to the very first time I ever saw you playing in the basement of Java Jack's coffee shop, like I don't even know how many years ago, maybe 15 years ago. But it's really, it's kind of a fun thing to see you rocking an acoustic guitar right now and just doing a solo performance.
Oh, thanks. That makes me happy because I feel like I haven't done that in a while. And I don't know, I guess it makes it extra special since I haven't really seen people or played in a very long time either. So thanks.
Well, there is just so much going on in our world and in our city right now. And I just wanted to start off the conversation by saying, how are you doing? How have these last few months been for you?
It's still really, I'm still trying to figure it out because, we've just been hit many times on so many levels. And it's like right now it's kind of like, how do we cope with things as they come because they just seem to keep coming. And I think it's kind of funny how like now that the whole world basically has been put in one spot and we've had to like focus on one thing, which is mainly our safety, that the whole race issue is like really making us focus on why we kill ourselves why we hurt ourselves versus like a virus, an actual virus killing humans, you know? So I think that's kind of why this whole police issue, safety issue, race issue is really finally coming to everyone's minds and everyone's like priorities, you know? It's made us really prioritize the more important things and the more pressing things and the more things that should have been taken care of. I mean, many years ago, but now, I mean, finally, it's actually coming and actually being looked at. And hopefully
Right.
we keep on working on it. I mean, it's so easy for us that because we're so distracted by things, and especially Americans who are so focused on working and being successful and accomplishing and conquering the most, not unimportant, but you know, things that distract us from what's really, why we're all really like urgent. We're all like this sense of urgency to like keep on going and keep on succeeding, and who cares who we stomp on or who we forget or let go or, you know, take advantage of. Like that's been taken away from us by this virus, and now we're able to focus on what's really important.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been
Wow,
thinking about that a lot too.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
It makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I've been thinking about ever since the George Floyd memorial when I watched the Reverend Al Sharpton speech, and he made this comment about how because there hasn't been any of these distractions like you're talking about, there hasn't been, you know, sports or, you know, all these other entertainment options or concerts and all these things. It's just all on pause. It allowed all of us to turn our attention completely towards this issue, first police brutality, but then this, you know, also larger conversation about white supremacy in America. And I think that's kind of part of what's making me feel still hopeful in a way, is that the virus showed that we are all capable of doing something together, like making a change together for like the greater good. So
yeah,
maybe we can keep that energy going. I don't know.
I
But
hope.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, like it is gives me a sense of hope too. Like finally, things are changing, but I'm worried too because, like I said, we're so easily distracted, and I don't know if selfish is the right word, but we're just like, so we're all about go, 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 go. And people are still like, oh, things are opening up and yay, I get to get my hair done finally. Like, I mean, yeah, yeah, but we still have like a bunch of stuff to worry about,
Right.
you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I totally get what you're saying. So I wanted to ask you, you know, as an artist, as you're going through all of these changes in the world and observing everything, like, have you been writing, or like, how do you process, you know, when things get so intense like this?
Um, well, I think it's, I mean, I have a whole new album actually, but that was done before this whole thing started. And when, you know, things started to shut down, and I think I was really more on like sponge mode, and I just kind of went back to who inspired me to do music, and um, I listened to a lot of like deep soul, R&B, and like old school blues music because that's what influenced me to do music. And I realized that a lot of it was, you know, black artists, and it just like I don't know, I felt a lot of comfort and a lot of inspiration, or just hope, I guess. Or it was just a good way to help me deal with sadness and uncertainty and like worry and anxiety, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the
that's
amazing
how,
thing about music.
yeah, yeah. So I just went back to my roots and my childhood, where I got my inspiration to be a musician.
That's cool.
So,
Well, I think a lot of us have been turning to music in this time, and it just makes me so grateful even more that we have the technology to be able to connect in this way and to still experience live performances, which is like pretty cool in this moment. And I just want to thank you again for being here. It's just so wonderful to connect with you and to see you. Let's hear some more music. What do you want to close with?
I guess I'll close with Dragonfly. And actually, I have a new music video for that I've been sitting on, but since this whole thing, it was I got distracted. But Dragonfly
Cool.
from the Murder Pop album. Okay. You came at me like a bullet train as I waited for my plane to land. You look so gallant with colors, baby. I'll blend it up in just one glance, 'cause you're a dragonfly, dragonfly, dragging me so high. Dragonfly, dragonfly, dragging me so high. Dragonfly, dragonfly, dragging me so high. Dragonfly, you slid your pants off so casually, and your wicked smile got me out on my knees. Baby girl, spread your wings so wide, spreading so high. Those tears fill my eyes, 'cause you're a dragonfly, dragonfly, dragging me so high. Dragonfly, dragonfly, dragging me so high. Dragonfly, dragonfly, dragging me so high. Dragonfly. I'm gonna throw you in the wind and let you shine. I'm gonna throw you in the wind and let you fly. You're gonna shine, shine, shine. Wanna see you shine, baby, shine, shine, shine. 'Cause you're a dragonfly, dragonfly, dragging me so high. Dragonfly, dragonfly, dragging me so high. Dragonfly, dragonfly, dragging me so high. Dragonfly, I'm gonna throw you in the wind and let you shine. I'm gonna throw you in the wind and let you shine. I'm gonna shine, shine, shine. Wanna see you shine, baby, shine, shine, shine. 'Cause you're a dragonfly, dragonfly.
Yay. Thank you so much, Mayda. That was awesome. That was another cut off your most recent album, Murder Pop, but you've got a new one on the way. So keep us in the loop as you get ready to put out new music.
For sure. Thank you. It's good to see you too, Andrea.
Yeah, good to see you. Well, we've got more artists coming up this afternoon. Bad Bad Hats next at 2:30. We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, celebrating Minnesota music. Support for Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is made possible with the support of Minnesota's Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sounds Like Home. I'm Andrea Swensson, host of the local show. This is the Currents virtual festival celebrating Minnesota music, and it's been such a great afternoon of performances today. So far, we've heard Mae Simpson, MaLLy, Ashley DuBose, MaLLy Maher, and Mayda. Coming up at 3 o'clock to close down the afternoon, Lady Midnight. And right now, I am so excited to be connecting with Bad Bad Hats. Bad Bad Hats, hello.
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 How are you doing right now?
We're doing pretty good.
Doing okay.
We're in our living room and we're excited to play some songs.
Good. Well, we're excited to be played too and see how you are doing. We'll chat a little bit, but first let's start with the performance. What do you want to kick things off with?
Great. We're going to start with our song Nothing Gets Me High from our full-length album Lightning Round.
All right, take it away.
I look for you at the basement show, only facing the faceless glow. Push my way through the indigo. Time is slow and I'm back in love again. Tell me something I don't want to hear, any excuse to disappear. Survive without you all these years, but now you're here and I'm back in love again. And I would love if you loved me. I wish I was 17 again, before it really hurt me. But that was then, yeah. I don't want you to wonder why nothing gets me high. Falling for you, but I'm not satisfied. Nothing gets me high. No. On those days when I think we're through, something stupid makes me think of you. My heart is racing down First Avenue. Sky is blue and I'm back in love again. And I would love if you loved me. I wish I was 17 again, back when it really moved me. But that was then, yeah. I don't want you to wonder why nothing gets me high. Falling for you, but only satisfied. Nothing gets me high. And I wanna be the best thing. I wanna be the best thing. I wanna be the best thing that ever happened to you. And I don't want you to wonder why nothing gets me high. Falling for you, but I'm not satisfied. Nothing gets me high. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing gets me high.
Thank you. That was our song Nothing Gets Me High from Lightning Round. And whenever we make albums, when we're recording, sometimes it's fun to think about what song is going to be the one that really resonates with people. What's going to be the one that everyone wants to hear at the show? And historically, I'm very bad at guessing what that song is going to be. I don't know why. I write them, but I can't pick them. So Nothing Gets Me High, I think, was probably one of the standouts from Lightning Round for friends and fans and family. And so now we'd like to play that song from our older album, The album's called Type Reader, and the song is called Midway. Sitting in the backseat on a Saturday night, places racing past me, spitting hydrogen light. I wish that you would ask me if I'm feeling alright. The shadows you were casting really swallowed the night. The guy that could have kissed you, guy that could have kissed you, guy that could have kissed you, guy that could have kissed you. Midway between the end and the start, I cried like a baby, I tore you apart. Midway between the end and the start, I cried like a baby, I tore you apart. I knew that I'd leave you by the middle of June. You touched me on my shoulder, play soft like a tune. All day you tell me you don't know what you do. The words you were not saying nearly filled up the room. But God, I could have kissed you. 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 Midway between the end and the start, I cried like a baby, I tore you apart. Midway between the end and the start, I cried like a baby, I tore you apart. Leave me where you found me. Leave me where you found me. Leave me where you found me. Leave me.
If you're just joining us, that's Bad Bad Hats performing a couple of songs. We just heard Midway. They started off with Nothing Gets Me High. Carrie and Chris are connecting with me now for Sounds Like Home. And I'm excited to catch up with the two of you a little bit because I feel like this is a little stating the obvious, but every time I talk to someone now, it's like you have to put put it in context. We're living through such a historic, transformative time. We're in a pandemic. We're in the midst of a renewed conversation around race and white supremacy. There's been turmoil in the Twin Cities here. It's just such an unusual moment. And I would love to hear about how the two of you have been doing over these last 3 months now. What has life been like for you?
It has been certainly one of the it has been a very memorable time, I think, in our lives. We are, even when we were on tour when the pandemic was really heating up. And so that was a bit odd to be doing something that we have been so used to doing as just part of our routine. And then as it was happening, it was just really starting to feel like something's not right. And then it was a bit of a transition at the beginning of the pandemic, certainly, to kind of face the reality that we wouldn't be returning to our normal existence for perhaps a while. But it was nice to sort of get into streaming and seeing what the technology had available to us. And that, to me, was really helpful because I was feeling a little like I was losing my footing a bit. I'm the kind of person I need to stay a little busy. So it was nice to have something to prepare for every week with our streams. But then when George Floyd was murdered, and we witnessed, the upheaval in the Twin Cities. It was a really sobering moment and a really sad moment. But I think for me, I have always loved representing Minnesota and being a band from Minnesota when we're on the road traveling. But I think for me, it sort of revealed that I had felt perhaps like a little disconnected maybe from the Twin Cities, and sort of because we've been traveling so much, or I felt like a little certainly like ignorant to a lot of like local politics and sort of the way, that everything is connected. So that was kind of a moment for me to kind of realize, what I can be doing in my day-to-day life to be helpful, certainly in the fight for racial justice, and certainly in making sure my own community that I, really love and enjoy is, safe for everyone and thriving. And so that was kind of a tough moment of like, whoa, I think I maybe allowed myself to be a little complacent. But I'm glad that I was given sort of a tough lesson in sort of being better about that. So yeah, we're taking it 1 week at a time here. But we're trying to educate ourselves and grow and be better. So yeah.
I think the way you describe that is just so important, that there have been two realities in Minnesota. The state is so segregated and the Twin Cities are so segregated that we can have this cognitive dissonance where we don't understand other people's experiences and what their lives have been like. And I think that's just so important to highlight in this moment. I'm sure like a lot of people are, you've been thinking about, what your role is as artists in this moment too, not just with being able to connect with people virtually because of the pandemic, but also what the role of the white artist is, as you mentioned. Can you talk a little bit more about that? What you've thought you might want to do to contribute?
Well, so certainly I've been thinking a lot about, we've always, I think our general vibe has always been joy. We always say is our key word. We like that our shows are a bit, on the lighter side. Sometimes we refer to ourselves as indie slapstick. So we've always prided ourselves on being sort of like a joyous, good time show with our music and our personalities, and we love going to the merch table after the shows and connecting with fans in that way. And we love doing that, and we'll continue to do that because we do think that music is a really good place for comfort and joy. But sort of thinking about how so much of being white in America is you are shrouded in comfort and safety. So sort of trying to think about in my own life, knowing that what I love to do as a musician is provide comfort to our fans, but knowing as a white person in America, discomfort is important on the path to learning how, your own racial biases affect other people and prevent like real change. So trying to balance those ideas. I don't think I'll ever be someone who is writing like protest songs. There are many other artists who do such a good job at that. And I don't think that as an artist that my music will necessarily reflect those kinds of things, but I would like to continue any power that we have as musicians, either with as headliners choosing an opener or the venues that we play, always trying to remember where we have power and privilege to sort of make decisions that uplift other voices or other people. And and I think just giving monthly to various places. We really want to support music education as well in the Twin Cities, and finding ways. We've been discussing like various ways because we know that we've had such privilege in the music industry coming up because of just our upbringing and our families, and we've had financial support like from our parents, and we know a lot of bands don't have that little leg up. And being a musician can be expensive, especially if you're touring. So trying to find ways to like at any point, especially lift up younger artists who have not had the same privileges that we have. So I am looking forward to being out of a pandemic, because I feel like I have a few more tools at my disposal when we're on tour and playing shows, but brainstorming ways that we can be helpful even from our living room here.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Well, what has it been like for you? I know you've been doing regular live streaming concerts. What is that experience like for artists?
Yeah, it was kind of scary at first. I don't know, we kind of just went for it and had a good response right away. The first stream that we did was from a hotel room on tour when we had a few shows canceled, and we had just so much support in that moment that it felt like, oh, we could keep doing this. So yeah, we've tried to put together a live stream that's different every week, and tried to figure out how to kind of play covers and keep it interesting and all this stuff. But so far it's been like a pleasantly surprising alternative.
Yeah, it's
to our
been
usual thing.
Like I mentioned before, to me it's been such a it's something to like look forward to every week and prepare for, and it just feels like, you know, we're back at work again, which is a nice feeling for me. It's a bit of purpose in our weeks. So that's been great. And even though it's not quite the same as being at the merch table, it is nice seeing people in the chat, tuning in from all over. And that's been really cool, because it's like people we've never toured outside of the US or Canada. So it's been fun for people who were like, I never thought I would get to see you play, but now I get to see a little snippet from afar. So that's been good.
That's really cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for being here and being part of our virtual festival today. Sorry there's no backstage where we can all hang out and see each other in real life, but it's so nice to be connected with you virtually. And we do have time for another song. What do you want to close with today?
We're going to play our song, Wide Right, which is about failure, but also about using that failure to put yourself on a path towards true love.
All right, take it away. It's Bad Bad Hats.
Thanks, Andrea.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tried to forget you on a Friday night. Met someone who likes the bands I like. He leans in and then dives right there down his knee. I always wanted to be misunderstood. Thought I'd meet someone and move to Hollywood. Then I found myself with something good. Woe is me and you. I don't know what I'm doing more half the time. I had too much to lose, and you are mine, yeah. I was alone until Paris friends. Met someone who changed all my plans. I love you, so I'm willing to dance. It's just me and you. I don't know who I'm kidding more at the time. I had too much to lose when you are mine, you are mine, you are mine. to forget you for the rest of my life. Met someone that moved to paradise. Earrings in and I touch right there. I miss me and you.
Carrie and Chris, thank you so much for being here today. It was just so wonderful to hear you play it and to chat with you a little bit. Thanks.
Great to talk with you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Nice to see you.
Yeah, really good to see you. Well, stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a session from Lady Midnight to close out the afternoon. This has been Sounds Like Home, the Currents virtual festival. We'll see you again in a little bit. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, celebrating Minnesota music. Support for Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is made possible with the support of Minnesota's Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org.
Hey, everybody. Andrea Swensson here, host of The Local Show. Thank you so much to everyone who has been tuning in throughout the afternoon for Sounds Like Home, the Currents virtual festival. This is our second installment of this festival, and it is just so wonderful to be able to connect with artists in this moment. I want to give a big thank you to everyone that has performed already this afternoon: Mae Simpson, MaLLy, Ashley DuBose, MaLLy, Maher, Mayda, and Bad Bad Hats. Thank you as well to the Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Well, I am so excited to close down this day of performances with an artist I really personally admire. She visited the studio last year to perform a session for The Local Show as she was releasing her debut album, Death Before Morning. Please join me in welcoming Lady Midnight.
Hi,
Hey!
thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited that you can be involved in this and that we can connect today. It's just so wonderful to be able to see people, even though we can't all gather together for a show. It's just so nice to see you. How are you doing right now?
I'm doing okay. I mean, I think like everybody else, it's kind of like touch and go, even, hour by hour. We're just kind of getting so many updates and it's difficult to process a lot of information all at the same time. But I am working on, I guess, just making space to check in with myself and making sure that I'm able to like still stay grounded and still focus on being in body and being present. So yeah, I'm doing okay right now. I'm happy to be here. So performing always makes me happy. So it's lovely.
Oh, good. Well, we have a lot to talk about. I want to check in with you a little bit more, but we'll start with a performance of a couple of songs. What do you want to start with?
I'm going to do a song from my album that you mentioned. I'm going to start with Do It for Love. And then after that, I'll do a song also from that same album called Shotgun.
Awesome.
Take us as we are, grant us full pardon from the blame that has a right to these cuts that I am wearing are the wounds that come from breaking down the cycles. Fighting this fate, equal for friend or foe. I am my enemy. Let your ego go. Long here, won't stay too long here. Rest is but a moment, weary warning. Do it for love. 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 Sing with me. Do it for love. 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 Raise an inward voice, a tranquil breath that comes from knowing we belong here. These steps that I have taken in surrender to an ancient will to pass fear. Fighting this fate, equal for friend or foe. I Hate strong here, but I know love belongs here. Let the light and dark restore the bond here. Oh, do it for love. 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 Take us as we are. Grant us full pardon from the blame that has a right to you.
Shout out to MMYYKK for that beat. Thank you so much. This next one's called Shotgun.
You've watched it all before. Illuminated big screen. Temperament for war. Shotgun in the backseat. Holding fight for it. Time to choose your home team. All things fall apart, broken from the start. Can nobody save you? Any day, this could be any day. Any day, any day. This could be us, be us, be us. Someone shouting loud. Support the resistance. Good boys wanna fight, fight, fight. Can't forget tradition. Whose body matters here? Land of no protection. Cowards punch to fear. Heroes no one near. Can nobody save you? No, no, any day. This could be any day. Any day, any day. This could be us, be us, be us. Any day. Oh, any day. Oh, any day, any day, any day. This could be us, be us, be us. Oh, fight, fight.
All right.
Lady Midnight there with Shotgun. that is from the new album, Death Before Morning, that came out last year. And such a powerful song. And I always tend to focus on a different line or moment every time I hear it. But to hear it right now just really, really resonates and is so poignant. What is it like for you to perform that song in this moment?
It's really surreal. I think like so much of Death Before Morning, that album, like I didn't realize how much I would need it. You know, when I was writing it, it was definitely coming from a place of like processing my own kind of trauma and my own grief and kind of looking at the state of the world that we were in. And I didn't realize, nor did I want it to be so relevant, you know, continuously being relevant and brought up. So I think, you know, sometimes as artists, as creatives, like our spirit can look forward and give us the things that it knows that we're going to need. So that's kind of like how I feel about this song. It's like, we needed it. And it's crazy because it's like it in that line of any day, it sort of places it in a space where it's timeless. Unfortunately, that what I'm talking about can be put through any decade. And I really do wish that there's a day that we don't have to sing it anymore. It's not relevant anymore.
Right. You are such a deep artist. I always love talking to you about your work because I know that you're such an empathetic person and that you're just absorbing the world around you all the time and turning it into such beautiful art. And I'm just wondering, as a human being in this moment, it's so overwhelming to have so much, especially focused right in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and to be traumatized, re-traumatized by the events of the last month. Take me through a little bit of your process just as a person and as an artist of how do you get from that moment of such an intense event and a cascade of emotions to, then being able to create something and turn it into a song.
Yeah, I think I'm really grateful that I have that ability. I think that whenever we go through anything that's traumatizing, like our body just will go into a survival mechanism and we'll be put in this place of like fight or flight. And that's good because it's what protects us, our survival. Like, do I need to run? What do I need to do right now? Do I need to disassociate? So I think that music for me is a way of being able to do the same thing. And when I do have a good space, I'm able to kind of compartmentalize the experiences and put them into words and into melody. And then after I usually do the song, I'll have a moment of clarity to be able to digest it in a way that I'm able to. I've had a few moments and recently, writing during, before the uprising, like writing during like COVID, the pandemic, like where I would write a song and then, I'd finish the last line and I would just burst into tears, and it's something that I didn't even know that I was holding. And so I think that like there's so much power in art. There's so much ability to transform yourself and to be able to heal. So I really recommend it for anybody, to not be afraid to even just like talk to yourself in the shower. Like, you're not crazy. It's really, really like healing to do those things, to really hear your own voice say it out loud. There's something cathartic about it coming out of your body.
I completely relate to that. I mean, as a writer, I feel like I'm able to tap into maybe subconscious thoughts that I wouldn't normally just bring up in like a conversation with somebody. But I've had that experience as well, where all of a sudden you step back and you've like put it out there and it's been able to leave your body and go somewhere else for a minute, and then you can emotionally respond to it. That's a really powerful thing to be able to do. I wonder too, with when I listen to your music, it feels so transformative to me. It brings me to a different place in my mind. It helps to calm me. It helps me to think about things. Like, tell me a little bit about the the mental process that you're going through when you're performing. Is it taking you to that same place and providing you with that maybe a little bit of distance, like you were talking about?
Yeah, I feel like when I perform, I'm able to really kind of, I guess, step back. Like, I know some people have to get into that place where they're back to wherever they were when they wrote the music. I think for myself, just giving myself the moniker Lady Midnight, I feel like I have a lot of strength with that, and I'm able to both like deliver what the sentiment is, but I don't necessarily feel it in the body. I feel like I'm more of a vessel for it, of like the message. And that gives me a lot of strength to be able to say those words and not really break down. But there's definitely been some times. I remember a time specifically at like Fine Line, where I was singing the song like Ode to a Burning Building, and I did get choked up. And I just kind of said, well, that's what needed to happen. Like, that's what the emotion, that was the message that I needed to convey, was to basically bring it back to myself and to make it more human. And there's been weird things that have happened to the song 14. I wrote about my sister who passed away. And there's definitely been times where I've like sung that song, and I have like, there's been like a weird technical glitch that never happens, but then happens, or, like certain flickers of light, and you can read it however you want. But I like to feel like, there was a frequency that I was letting out, and that was being, there was a call, and that was the response. So yeah, it does happen sometimes.
Wow, I love that. That is the thing I love about music and art the most. It's like there's something going on above where we are right now.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I want to look at it as like clear, just energy, the exchange of energy, and how the energy that you put in affects like your surroundings, and how that like reverberates back to you with sound. So I think that we do have a lot of power. It's magical in some ways.
Yeah. Wow, that's so cool. Well, you mentioned that you have been writing and making some new music. Can you share anything more about that with us now?
Yeah, I do have a project that I'm working on with some friends that's going to be coming out really, really soon. Just one of the songs that we have been making to process what's happening right now, so in current time. But I've also had the opportunity to put out some stuff with Nightstone, which is a collaborative project with Laserbeak and Ice Tap, and it's really great. They both invited a bunch of just different vocalists to sing on the production that they came up with together, and it's more of like a house project. So it is a bit of a different direction than the album. But I think that it's moving into a space that I'm more curious about, because I am very interested, I have a focus on being able to kind of like transform or transmutate trauma and difficult feelings, and turn that into something that is like more positive and a little lighter, or just even ability to process it. And I think that like moving the body is really, really important for that, like really cathartic as well. So that's something that I'm interested in, going into that direction. And I'll perform a song for you guys that is like in that vein too.
Yes. Well, I think, we haven't been able to gather in a room and dance, but maybe we should like give everyone permission right now, like yes! prop your phone up on the counter or desk or whatever, and maybe we should all try to move around a little bit together.
I would love it. I would really, really love it. Please do. Yes.
Great. Well, I'll let you take it away. Let's listen to it. What's the name of the song?
The song is called Echo Love. It's featuring me, and it's by Nightstone.
Awesome.
Okay.
You're not the one that I want, you're the one I need. The feel of an incomplete that I'm hanging on to. Still have nothing to lose but the diamonds I wear on the soles of my shoes. I pretend like I don't care at all. If I don't have you, how do I want it? You wanna be honest. Thought we were beyond this. So why are you calling? Did you leave something here you regret more than all that you've promised? Shine clarity on me. What you're breaking is far more than silence. We don't need a call for closure. try. Don't wanna lose composure. Leaning into something when it wasn't there. I'm clinging to my evidence again. The truth, these lies keep running through my head. And I don't wanna lose the romance, getting caught up again. I'm not the only one that it was hiding on. I am going to complain about it. Think I found an echo, love, 'cause you keep on coming back. And now my heart beats hello. Think I found an echo, love, 'cause you keep on coming back. Yeah. And now my heart beats hello. Think I found an echo, love, 'cause you keep on coming back. And now my heart beats hello. Got me with my heart beat hello. Think I found an echo, love, 'cause you keep on coming back. But now my heart beats hello. Got me with my heart beat hello. Keep on coming back. 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 But now my heart beats hello. You call me with my heartbeat hello. Think I found an echo, love, 'cause you keep on coming back. 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 Think I found an echo, love, 'cause you keep on coming back. Think I found an echo, love, 'cause you keep on coming back.
Yay! I'm going to just go ahead and applaud on behalf of everyone that is listening right now and say thank you so much for being here and thank you for your performance. It's just so wonderful to see you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you to all of you for tuning in and listening to Lady Midnight perform, and to everyone who's performed today. It's been just such a wonderful day of music. Mae Simpson, MaLLy, Ashley DuBose, MaLLy, Maher, Mayda, and Bad Bad Hats, and also Lady Midnight. Thanks to the Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund for supporting all of these incredible artists today. And thanks to our engineer and producer that really made this all happen. Eric Romani was engineering and Jesse Wiza producing all of these sessions for Sounds Like Home. We'll see you all again soon. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, celebrating Minnesota music. Support for Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is made possible with the support of Minnesota's Legacy Amendments Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org.